You're listening to the No Limits Map to Triathlon podcast. This is episode number 54. Hey, in this episode, we talk about what is your reason why? Why are you training for triathlons? We're going to talk about all the reasons why. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Todd Malcolm, and I've been in the sport of triathlon for over 25 years. I'm head coach of a triathlon group you've probably never heard of. We don't train all the time, and we don't have goals to win races. In fact, our motivation is the exact opposite. We train for triathlons in addition to living busy lives with the goal of staying in shape and challenging ourselves in this amazing sport of triathlon. We are triathletes with no limits, and this is your map to triathlon. All right, let's get into it. This is episode number 54, and we're going to talk about what is your reason why for doing triathlon. Why are you waking up every morning at some crazy hour to exercise, to swim, to bike, to run, to stretch, to do yoga, to do whatever prep work to get your body ready to do a triathlon? Or why are you sneaking out at lunchtime or planning your week around, lunch hour so you can train? Or why are you pushing your evenings later so that you can train the last few hours before you go to bed at night so that you can get yourself ready for a triathlon? Why are you doing it? The time of this recording, we are in August 2020. And this week here in Calgary, I'm based in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, we were supposed to do Calgary 70.3. It was postponed until September 5th, 6th, and 7th. And just this week, the Ironman came out and said, sorry guys, we tried really hard to put the race on, but it's not going to go. Which is really, really unfortunate. But what I've found this year is many of us have had races, and when they get canceled, our motivation to train and continue, that's normally very high, just gets dropped. And we're like, oh man, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to swim. I don't want to bike. I don't want to run, because having that carrot out there of the race and having that extra incentive to get out of bed in the morning so that you're in shape to do that race, it scares you to get motivated and get training. I know it does for me, that when I train for an Ironman, I go, oh my gosh, Ironman's in 6 weeks. I gotta get out there. I gotta do these long runs, because otherwise my race is going to be horrible. And for me, I know that it's a really good scare tactic to get myself out and moving. And with all the races canceled, I haven't done a race yet, like a real race. We've done a couple of virtual, but no real race. And that motivation is it's in the toilet. I'm not going to lie, it's in the toilet. And so this whole year, well, not since March, we've been thinking about or hoping that the races will come back. And I'm still, you may chuckle at me, but I'm still hopeful that Hawaii 7.3, that's scheduled for November, still will run. So if you're listening to this in December, it either happened or it didn't. And like I said, I'm hopeful. I'm keeping the hope, the faith alive that I can get an Ironman in this year. Why are you doing this? And like I said, I was struggling with that. And so I would be asking my athletes, why are you doing it? And I encourage them to write out the reason why. And so that if you do have trouble getting out the door, look at your reason why, and that can sometimes help you get out the door. Now, what I did a couple of days ago, because I'm super curious at what makes people tick and why are people doing this. What is your reason why for doing triathlon? Because everyone's different. My reasons are my reasons, your reasons are your reasons, and they might be the same, but probably they're not. And so yours are different. And like I said, I was super curious. I went to a couple of big Facebook triathlon groups and posted the question, hey, why are you guys doing this? I'm really curious. Why are you doing it? And I had really good responses. And I think as of today, there's 350 reasons why, 350 responses. I couldn't get through them all. I went through a bunch of them last night, and I got to stop. It's like midnight. I'm tired. I'm not really taking them all in. So I got a good chunk of them done. And what I did is I pulled out my journal and I started writing them down, starting out the ones that really appeal to me. And there's kind of a common theme with many people, right? And so I've got 4 pages 4 pages of notes. And we're going to go through a bunch of them today. Because it's really, really curious to me is, why do people do this? What makes them get themselves moving in the morning and lunch hours or whenever you're going to train, right? The very first response that I got was from a lady in the Pathetic Triathlon Facebook group. And her reply was to eat Oreos. Eat Oreos. How many Oreos are you eating? It's the Pathetic Triathlete Facebook group. They've got this thing with Oreos, and they just love eating Oreos. I don't know. I don't get it. I like eating a couple of Oreos, but not a lot of them. Just who I am. But the idea is training for a triathlon. Why you train for a triathlon is so that you can eat what you want. You can eat all the Oreos you want. You can have pizza. You can have beer. And there's a good chance that you will not get fat because you're training so much. So you can maintain your current weight. And that is that was a big reason why for many people, and it is for me, is that you can eat whatever you want and not get fat. I was at a wedding this weekend. It was phenomenal. It was so beautiful. And the food was fantastic. And I kept going back and forth, filling up my plate. And I could do that, not worry about, I can't eat that, because I'm going to get fat, because I know I'm going to burn it off. So I'm going to just fill up, enjoy myself. So that's a huge benefit for some people, is they can eat what they want. The next one that response that I really appealed to me was, this guy said, so he can drink from the fountain of youth. And I think it's true. Maybe you've noticed that when you go to a race, it could be a running event or a triathlon event, and you see people, you go, how old is that person? My gosh, are they ever kicking butt? How old is that person? I can't quite tell. And I think the reason why I can't tell is because the aging process is not as apparent in someone who's really fit as it is with someone who's not fit. Do you know what I mean? And so for me, I'm turning 50 this year, and I got to think that I'm doing pretty good for a guy in his, late 40s. And what I like about it is that I can do a lot of things that most 50-year-old people can't do. So I'm very healthy, very fit, and I can do things that, play with the kids. If someone asks me to hike up a mountain, I can do that. I can do things that require a fit, younger, healthy body, and I have that. So I think drinking from the fountain of youth is a great reason, is one of the reasons why that people do it, so they can stay youthful and look younger. The next one, why are people training for triathlons, is fitness. They want to get in shape and they want to feel strong. For me this morning, my routine called for TRX in the morning. It's a strength-based workout. And afterwards, I feel great. I just feel great from stretching the body, from using my muscles. And afterwards, I feel like, seriously, like $1,000,000. So the feeling of being strong and having that fit body is a great feeling. So it's a really wonderful reason why. The next reason why is just the enjoyment. People just posted, I just enjoy biking. I simply enjoy swimming. I enjoy running. I enjoy training. I just enjoy it. There's so much enjoyment, and I would almost say there's love for that. For me, when I'm on the bike or swimming or running, there's moments where I go, oh my gosh, it can't get any better than this. It's such an amazing feeling. So I can really appreciate that feeling of enjoying it. A post that I got from another person was, they are enjoying the journey through life. And triathlon is part of that journey. And they are enjoying being active. I really resonate really strongly with the enjoyment of staying active and exercising. The next one is, I think this is more like a technical one. So they like to train for triathlons because it helps them improve technique, flexibility, and strength in their body. One here, the next one is this. I think this applies to many of us. I know it does for me, is sanity, to stay sane. Many of us live in a very stressful, this is a very stressful world. It's just how it is. If you are part of the world right now, it's hard to escape not having stress. So we all have a certain amount of stress from our families, from our jobs, just being part of this human race. We're going to have some stress. And exercise is one of the best ways to reduce or relieve that stress. And the post was feeling they're in a much better mood after exercising. And it does. You just feel way better. So if you feel like you're having a really bad day, and you, oh my gosh, everything sucks. This is horrible, and you feel like everything just kind of a downward spiraling. Try and go do some exercise. It doesn't have to be long. One of my favorite sayings is some is better than none. Even 10, 15 minutes. Get out there and move your body. You might find that afterwards, you go, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. Get rid of some of the stress and you just feel a little bit clearer and feel like, okay, I am ready to move on. One post here was along the same lines of sanity, is it gives me peace. And I'm going to say that I agree with that too. Like when I'm swimming in a lake or in the ocean or in a pool, there's a feeling of peacefulness that feels just so amazing. I sometimes feel like I'm flying when I'm swimming. It's the closest thing I can get to flying is swimming. And it just, you feel like, oh my gosh, this feels so good. And when your stroke isn't in tune with everything and you're breathing and you just feel effortless, it is such a peaceful time. And I feel the same thing sometimes with running and with biking. So the sanity is a huge thing. The next one here is healthy. Last week, we had a bit of a health scare here in our family, so we had to spend a day at the hospital. And when you have to visit the hospital, you realize, oh my gosh, there's a lot of sick people out there. And all of us will have to visit the hospital at some point because that's how life is. We're going to have accidents. And what I found throughout the years as being in the sport and as a coach, I've seen that people that are in better shape, people that are healthy, people that are strong can come back from illness, from injuries a lot faster than someone who's not. So healthy, keep your body healthy is a huge reason why for many people. This next one is to lose weight. So some people go into triathlon as a way to lose weight. They go, you know what? I'm like X number of pounds overweight. It could be 5 pounds. It could be 300 or 400 pounds. Some of the stories you see online are like, they blow my mind how much weight is lost. And it's the stories are incredibly motivational about how people have lost this much weight. Now, so that may be the initial reason is to lose weight. Some people do it to maintain weight. Like I'm a pretty skinny guy, and if I don't exercise, I'll lose weight. So I like it to maintain weight. And some people will do it to gain weight, right? So that weight management theme it can be important for many people's reason why. And sometimes I find that people start off by, okay, I'm in this adventure to lose weight. But then once they've lost that weight, then they go back to a different reason. So it could be because they want to eat as much as they want. They want to drink from the fountain of youth or fitness, etc. See what I'm getting at? So they start off at one reason why, and it could change to something else. And I do want to say that too, is that your reason why right now may change to something else in the future. So be flexible with that. And if you might think, oh, I started off with this reason why, but it's no longer that. It's something else. And that's totally okay. All right. This next one is to push our limits. My business is named No Limits Triathlon, and I love this, to push your limits, right? This morning when I was doing my TRX, and I haven't done TRX for a while, my routine for training is usually swim, bike, strength for a good chunk of the year. But once it comes to summertime, I don't do the strength. I remove the strength piece. But today I'm like, you know what? I want to do some strength today. I want to feel strong. So when I'm going down there doing the workout, it feels good. But because I haven't done it for a while, some of the exercises, when you get to the last rep, you're like, oh my gosh, this is hard. And you really have to struggle to get through. And that struggle is sometimes very satisfying. It feels so good. So to push our limits, see what we're made of, that can be a reason why, to see just how far can we go. I know when you first get into the sport, you go, oh, I want to do a sprint triathlon. That's fine. And then you go, hey, what about an Olympic distance? And then you go, oh, what about 7.3? So you continue to keep pushing your limits. And if you stay at a certain distance, that's totally cool. But you might find, look, I did my first triathlon in 3 hours. Maybe I can do it next time a little bit quicker and a little bit quicker. So you want to see, what can you do? What are the limits that are on your body? Or are there no limits? It's fun to see what you can do. Some people's reason why is to complete their first triathlon. I was on a phone call with a guy just a few days ago, and he's like, Todd, the reason why, because I want to look back at my life and say, I did that. I did a triathlon simply because it was a goal and a dream of mine that I want to do, and so I want to do it. So it's a dream. They want to do it, and they want to do their first triathlon. A common reason why that I saw pop up is because it becomes part of their lifestyle. So they might have started from a different reason, but now it is almost like brushing your teeth. So every morning you brush your teeth, and before you go to bed you brush your teeth. And just something you do. And triathlon has become part of their life, so ingrained that that's what they do. So they just swim, bike, and run because it's part of who they are. This next reason why is to be better. To be better than the next day. And I think that's a great attitude for no matter what we're doing. We want to, if we can become a better person every day, it's a great thing to do. And for swimming, biking, running, and strength, there's so much stuff in triathlon that there's always an opportunity to learn and improve. So to get better is a big reason for many people. This one here is a big one for me, is for the races. People, there's a saying that you're either training to race or you're racing to train. And a lot of people are training to race. That race is a big carrot for them. And by having that gets them out of the bed to keep moving forward. And racing is fun. People like to be competitive. They like to see what they can do. They like to hang out with their friends there. Some people like everything about the triathlon, about the racing. So it could be the stress involved, about getting there, the whole thing. And I would agree with that I like all of it. The whole kit and caboodle, it's all fun. Now, this one here, I even wrote down the whole post. And it's to become a role model for children. And it was the lady's name is Mary. And she said, to show her daughters, she has 2 daughters, about determination and drive, to keep going when things get hard, never give up when you're down, and to be a fierce woman. I just thought, oh, that's great. That's a really good post, right? So a main reason why is to be a role model for your kids, your family, your workmates, the people that are surrounding you, so you become a role model for them. And I think that's very important. This one here, especially when you are a young parent or parent of young kids, or a parent with someone with high needs, or you're very busy taking care of other people, a common answer for the reason why is so that I can have me time. There's a little bit of escape away from your busy family life, busy work life, just your busy life in general. It gives you a chance to be by yourself and train. And just simply having me time swimming, biking, and running is a big reason why for many people. Some people that do races, their reason is to podium. They want to come top 3, and they want to qualify for something. They want to qualify for the World Championships, qualify for a certain marathon, a certain race, but they like that competitive nature and they want to be the best, and that's okay. That's the reason why. I have a bunch of reasons here. So I went through hundreds of posts, and it was really fun to read all of them, but I'm not going to go through them all because this podcast would just take too long. So we're going to see how we do. That was page 1. That was page 1. We're going to move on now to page 2 and talk about some reasons other people have why they're doing triathlon. And this is one that I really like a lot, and it's adventure. They do triathlons for adventure. And triathlon can lead to adventure because you can travel. You can travel wherever you... Almost every country now has a triathlon, and that can be an adventure in itself, and it's so much fun. And the training, you can do such adventurous things to get yourself ready for the sport, and it's really, really great. So adventure is someone. This next one, the reason why, is to see if I can. So there's that reason why. Like, I remember before I did triathlons, I remember watching Ironman on TV, the Hawaii Ironman. And I'd be watching with my brothers, and I would go, oh my gosh, inside I go, I don't think I could ever do that. These guys look like amazing athletes and look super duper hard. It's so long, so hot, because it was all it was about Hawaii on the NBC. And I thought I could never do that, but it was very intriguing to me. And so to see if you can is a really cool reason why too. And sometimes if you do that the first time you do it, and then you move on to a different reason why. The next reason why is they've been dreaming of being a triathlete. We've kind of talked about that one already. So having a dream of being a triathlete and to see if you can is a really cool thing. One is to keep up with the kids. So your kids can be very active. They can be athletes. And so by being in shape, it allows you to keep up with your kids. When you start doing triathlons and traveling because of the adventure and your competitiveness, you're going to find that you're going to meet friends all over the world. And it's that camaraderie that we share. And then we get to certain races, we go, hey, so-and-so is going to be at this race. So let's travel and we can race together. We can train afterwards. And it can be really fun. So having friends all around the world, or even in different cities, different states, different provinces, is a really great reason why that people like to do triathlon. And the next one here is the same thing. You create friendships. You're going to meet people in the race. When you are suffering on the run course, especially because you can chat on the run, you're going to find people that are also suffering. And you might say, hey, how are you doing? I'm suffering. Like I am too. And then you can become, sometimes those people you're suffering with become your best friends. I have a friend that I suffered with in Ironman Canada many years. We both qualified for Hawaii. He's from Mexico, I'm from Canada, but we still stay in touch. And when we see each other at World Championships events, we're like, hey man, how's it going? And it's so great to connect. And even though we only connect for a few minutes at each race, it's just that sense of friendship and knowing that we've suffered together doing something that can be very, very strong. Like it's super, super strong. Leading back to adventure is travel. For me, I've been in not all, but 6 out of the 7 continents on the world. So by training and racing for triathlon, you can travel the world. And that's, if you like that, oh my gosh, triathlon's fantastic. You can see such amazing parts of the world, and you see it on a bike, swimming and running. So you get to see it from a unique perspective, and I love that. Another reason why is to maintain balance in life. So this extra piece keeps balance in life. This next one here, the next reason why, is I put a bunch of these together, and it's because it can be many different reasons, but it's to build strength after an injury. So say if you broke a bone or you got hurt or something, or building strength after being sick. So if you had cancer or you had COVID or something else and you want to get back into it, this is your reason why. Or you had surgery to fix something, this is a great reason why to get back. Or say if you were in a car crash and you got some kind of beat up really bad, and this gives you a chance to get back and gives you a goal to build towards. Oh man, look, I thought my life was almost over. The doctor said you can never walk or run again, but I really want to do an Ironman. So that can be a huge driving force for many, many people. I've seen it happen. Another reason why we are doing triathlon is it allows time to think and find solutions for problems, and it improves your job performance. I have coached many high-level business people, so CEOs of businesses and executives, and they say the same thing over and over again, that when they are training, they have their me time, and when they're doing this, they're like, you know what, I have this problem that I'm thinking about. And when you're running, different things happen in the brain that allow you to think about things differently. Like I've said this before in podcasts, that I wish that I could just download my thoughts when I'm running, because I feel like I have some of the best podcasts ever when I'm running. But of course you can't do that. But when you have a problem and you need to solve it, when you're swimming for an hour or biking and you're moving your body, that allows you to come up with different solutions to your problem. And it really is a great way to solve solve your problems. So job performance and a lot of time to think is really, really quite good. This next one, this post came from a lady who's living in Kona. And she posted a picture up. I go, hey, are you in Kona? I recognize some of those spots. And she was living on the east coast of Hawaii. I thought, oh my gosh, you live in a beautiful place. And her reason why is to observe the world's beauty. So to get up early, you can see the sunrises. To train late, you can see the sunsets. You get to train on beautiful roads, swim in beautiful places, run in beautiful trails, just to observe the beauty. Now, I'm going to second that. I've been to so many places around the world, and triathlon allows me to see things that you wouldn't see just by driving your car. And you get to go to places. You get, if you're adventurous and you have a fit body, healthy body, you can go to places that most people can't. It just is really, really amazing. This next reason why is to stay strong as we age. Like I said, we were in the hospital last week, and you can see when people are not strong, it's hard for them to do the things that they would like to do. So having a strong body for as long as we can is going to make us have a better life. And next post was not training for a triathlon, but training for a triathlon allows them to train for life. Train for life. We're going to do, how are we doing for time here? I think we'll do maybe 1, 2, 3, let's do 4 more. And look, there's like 2 more pages I didn't get through. There's just so many reasons why. You can go online and look and see the post for yourself. And it's really quite fantastic. And like I said, your reason why is going to be different than my reasons why. But you want to find that reason why that's so strong for you, so that when you wake up and you go, I don't want to do this today, you read your reason why. So I do recommend you to get out your notebook, right at the top of the page, why do I do this? And just write some stuff down. It doesn't have to be exactly right now. But over time, you can fine tune it. You go, this is my reason why. And if you can say that in a couple of sentences, you go, that's perfect. And it will help you get your butt out the door. I promise you, it will. This one, and I like this one a lot because it resonates with me. A lot of these resonate with me. And they probably resonate with you, some of them too. This one here is to set a goal and then achieve it. And when you do that, there's great satisfaction in doing it. And it's something to strive for in life. And for me, when I was younger, I used to shoot for the World Championships in the ITU. And so I would go to the race, try and qualify, and then go to the Worlds. And that's what I would do. And I love that. You set a goal, achieve it, travel, get that adventure. All those things are tied into one. And it was just fantastic. Fantastic. And there's great satisfaction in that. Now, look, you don't have to qualify for something. You might say, look, I'm going to train for this sprint triathlon. I'm going to train for it for 4, 5, 6 months, or maybe a year. And then when you do it, you cross that finish line, get that finisher t-shirt, the medal, you go, oh my gosh, best thing ever. And then do it again. It just feels fantastic. The next one, why do you do it? Because I can. No other reason, just because you can. This one kind of made me smile. But then I thought about it and go, man, it doesn't make me smile. It's because I am fat and I don't want to be fat anymore. And that's hard, right? Because not everyone is in amazing shape, right? It's a small group of people. And a lot of people are not in good shape. And some people get to a point in their life and they go, oh my gosh, I've got the job. I have the spouse. I have the dogs, the kids, the cars, etc. But then you look at yourself and you go, oh my gosh, my body, I have neglected my body, and now I am fat, out of shape, and I don't want to be that anymore. I want to be a fit individual. And so that's a big reason why for many people is so that they can get into that fit, healthy body and lose that fat, because they're not happy. When you step out of that shower in the morning, you look at the mirror, you go, are you happy or you're not, right? Or do you not even look at yourself in the mirror? And that for me it makes me really sad when people don't do that. And so, because we're all human, we all have bodies. And I think if we can, if we're able to take care of our bodies and get us in good shape or great shape, we're going to feel better about ourselves. So yeah, because I'm fat and I don't want to be fat anymore. Let's finish off this page. We got 3 more to do. This one here is the training allows me to sleep at night and be calm. And you know, if you have a big long training day, it could be an hour and a half, 2, 3, 4 hours. You're gonna sleep like a baby at nighttime, and so I get some great sleeps. It's one of the rare things that I don't sleep. A couple nights ago, I couldn't sleep because it was so hot in the room. But we don't have air conditioning. But I just moved to the basement. I slept. It wasn't because I wasn't tired, just because it was so hot. This one here, this last one, no, 2 more, is I love to ride my bike. So this person just loves to ride their bike, or it gives them a good reason to buy a new bike, and they just love to train. The sense of accomplishment, the sense of feeling, and the sense of enjoyment. They love to do it. Okay, last one. Let me see if I can find a really good one. I'm going to do this last one because there are so many. Quickly, one is outlet for grief. I had to go through that a couple years ago, and it's really a big one. If you're going through grief, training really does help. One is to look good naked. So vanity, having structure, daily discipline. Being able to do things that the average person thinks is crazy. To hear, you are an Iron Man. That's a big reason why I want to hear that. I want to hear that the voice of Iron Man say, Todd Malcolm, you are an Iron Man. One of the best feelings ever. Running down that red carpet, having competition with friends. Who's going to be faster? I can't let that guy get faster, that lady get faster. I got to train harder so I can keep up. That's kind of fun. I think we're going to end. Let's see which one we're going to end with. I got 2 written down here. I'm going to see which one that I like the best. And it's hard. Okay, 2 more. 2 more. And this one here is by Riva. I think Riva O'Harlan. And so she loves feeling strong, slicing through the water, the blue of the pool, the black line as my trusted guide, the bubbles as my music. She loves running along a path with trees to protect me from the sun and the lush green of the forest to bring peace. Love the wind at my face, the smooth ride along a favorite route, the hills, the descents that so mimic the ups and downs of life. Love the movement in tranquility and solitude, all of which sustain me during the most difficult times and which bring me joy when life is easier. How great is that? And that's the cool thing about the world we live in social media is that you really get to see how amazing some people are and like how well people can write. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so good. I had to write that down. And the last one I'm going to leave you with is a post by, his name is Mark Madden. And I don't know if this was all of the post or just a little piece that I wrote down that I thought was really, really good. And this is his reason why he's training for a triathlon. And so that he can train for the most important race itself. And that is life. And that's it. So thank you very much for listening to episode number 54, the reason why people are doing triathlon. I hope you really enjoyed it. I enjoyed chatting with you. And I look forward to our next podcast together. I'm Coach Todd. Mahalo. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hey, if you have any questions, please send me a note. You can contact me at Instagram at No Limits Coach and Facebook at No Limits Try. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a comment and a review on iTunes. I appreciate all reviews and questions. Happy training, and we'll talk soon.